Mercury is now back in the sign of Capricorn. And so I'm going to show you how to use Mercury, which is our thought energy, to create your new self post divorce, even if you have just started your divorce recovery. Okay, so if you are new to me, to my content, to any of to me, to the or the channel, to any of my content in social media land, my name is kkatrice, and I am the natal chart navigator, and I'm a divorce recovery specialist, and I help divorced women to emotionally balance and reinvent themselves using their astrological natal charts. Okay, um, so let's jump into it. So Mercury, okay, Mercury in astrology represents our thought energy. It represents how we think. It also can have a lot of influence on how we communicate and interact with other people, how we socialize with other people, and also how it does have other significations like commerce and things like that. Okay, but the main thing that Mercury does is it is our communication. Okay, okay, communication and thought. Okay, so even if you have just started on your divorce recovery journey, okay, you still can craft and create who do you want to be, what do you want to see within your life, okay? Now, if you are brand new to astrology, if you are, or you are brand new to me and my content, I do have a free framework ebook that you can get. Now, this framework ebook, it is the first 3 steps of my natal healing method, okay, which is the method that I use to help emotionally balance and reinvent myself after I got divorced. And so this is absolutely free. You can go to my link tree. It is in the on the page. You can go there, and I'll put it in the comments as well. Okay. So when Mercury is in the sign of Capricorn, Capricorn energy is ruled by Saturn. It's all about structure and order. It is also, it's like the CEO energy of the zodiac. Okay, is a very leader energy, is a leadership type energy. It is very disciplined. It is very ambitious. Okay, and so having Mercury, your thought, okay, your thoughts and your thought energy in the sign of Capricorn, this is going to make you have some very ambitious thoughts. Okay, now why is that important? Well, when you are looking at, you know, starting over and recreating a whole new you post divorce, you want to have some big ambitious thoughts, right? If you were somebody who was a homebody all the time, or you never went anywhere because your husband didn't want to go anywhere, or your husband wouldn't take you out anywhere, or you had to go out and do things by yourself because your husband wouldn't go with you, then you know what you don't want, right? And so you can craft something, you know, really big, really different um, than what you had when you were, pre-divorce, right? And that is the whole purpose um, of reinventing yourself, is because what you had when you were in the marriage, there may have been some things that you would like to, keep moving forward. But for the most part, who you were and all of that, you don't want that anymore, right? You want to make changes, and you want to show up as a different person, a more aligned person, right? Capricorn energy is not only is it ambitious, it is very, very disciplined. Okay. And so depending upon where you have Capricorn in your chart is where where that ambition and the discipline, it is where that will be taking place. Okay. Um, and now if you are on your divorce journey, especially if you've just gotten started on your divorce journey and you are like, you want some guidance as to how you can really get started on healing, right? How to really start the process of not just going through the 5 stages of divorce all willy-nilly, but actually having more of a roadmap and an action plan as to how to navigate the energies of each stage um, based on your natal chart. Then you can book a full energetic healing reading with me. It is a recorded reading, and I go over the house, 8th house, and the 12th house, which are the healing houses, okay, and show you how to use that energy to get yourself emotionally balanced, okay, so that you can move forward within your recovery process, okay. Let me get this link, TT, // NKZR .ee / chart data. Okay. All right, there you go. That link. Okay. And so talking about Mercury, talking about Capricorn energy. Saturn is like the taskmaster of the zodiac, okay, which is the ruler of Capricorn, okay, which makes Capricorn energy very, very determined. And I don't care how many times you knock down somebody who has heavy Capricorn energy, they're going to get right back up and keep going. And they're actually going to rebuild, and it'll be better than what it was before. Okay. One of the things that I absolutely love about Capricorn energy. Now, also with this transit being in the sign of Capricorn, right? Like I said, Capricorn energy is like the CEO energy of the zodiac. Okay. It's also this transit is also activating your natal Mercury, okay, placement. Okay. Now some activations is stronger than others. Okay. But wherever you have Mercury at in your natal chart, okay, it's going to affect your thoughts around that area of life, but also the area of life where Mercury is transferring. Okay. So for example, in my chart, Mercury in the 3rd house in the sign of Libra, and it is transiting in the 6th house, which is where I have Capricorn. Now, my 6th house, that is the house of your daily routines. It's also the house where you can find sickness and illness. A lot of times you hear that if you listen to other people who talk about astrology on YouTube, you will hear that they say that 6th house is the house of health. Well, more so health is the 1st house because that's you. 1st house represents you in the body, which would also represent your health. 6th house is the house of illness and sickness. Okay. And so for me, this transit is highlighting me managing my diet and getting my health back on track. But it's also highlighting my natal placement, which is in the 3rd house, which is conjunct Saturn. And so this here is highlighting me, my communication. How am I communicating within groups, like people, one-on-one? It's in the sign of Libra, so it's more so one-on-one communication. But also social media, like communicating on social media, right? And so it is highlighting how I relay, how I do my messaging, how I get my content out to you guys, to my audience, but also my health, and my daily routine, and really getting laser focused and figuring out what's the best use of my energy, right? Um, so this is here is just a caveat, a side bit, but when you start really working with your natal chart, and you start working with the energies, you no longer will look at things from a time based perspective. You start to look at things from an energetic based perspective. And what's the best use of your energy versus what's the best use of your time? Because honestly, time doesn't really exist per se. In the grand scheme of things, it does exist and it is relevant here, um, on Earth, but it really doesn't exist per se. Um, but if you look at the 24 hours given in a day, and you figure out how to use your energies in the best way possible to get the most, um, things done within your day, then that is so much better and easier um, than you trying to figure out how to manage time. Okay, because time, because it really isn't real, you can't manage it. Like you can't manage something that's not real, but energy is real, and you can manage your energy. Okay, and so with me having Mercury in the sixth house, that's what I'm working on now. Now that Mercury is direct, okay. Now that Mercury is direct, because when it was retrograde, it was all over the place. However, so that is what I'm working on, right? So wherever you have Mercury at, if you have it, say, in your fourth house, right, then you're going to be looking at, how you can get order and structure within your home life. Fourth house is one of the healing houses. It's one of the houses, where the energy that you use within that house to help you get emotionally balance and center yourself. So you want to, your thoughts are going to be on not only how to get your home, your physical home in order, because I'm almost saying all the time, but you get divorced, that is a death, right? And so, after somebody dies, you have to go through the process of getting the house back in order, right? Um, you have to like start removing things, and dealing with different legal things and stuff like that, because that person is no longer here. And it's the same thing when you get divorced. So if you are having Mercury in the fourth house, then those are the things that you're going to be working on, is getting your home in order, especially energetically, after, post divorce. It's also the house of, real estate. So, your thoughts may be on, you may need to purchase a home, or, maybe need to find somewhere else to stay. You might be looking on moving. If you kept the marital home and then it turned out that it was, just way too much for you, you may be, thinking about putting a plan in place to, sell that home, downsize, get something, a little smaller, or maybe like rent it out, who knows? There's multiple things that you could do, that could go on, but real estate is something that you could also be focused on, as well. Okay. And so just wherever you have, it at, it's going to affect that house, but it's also going to affect the house where, you have your actual natal Mercury placement. Okay. And so what you want to do with this energy is you want to make a plan. Okay. You want to craft some type of a blueprint. Okay. for whatever it is, right? So in my case, in the sixth house, right? Sit down and figure out what would be the best use of my energy, and then actually write it out. Okay. Now I'm not going to put any like time stamps by it, because every time I try to do that, it always fails. It never works out ever. So you know the saying where they say, if you keep like hitting your head, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, but you're expecting a different result, then that like leads, it's like insanity. And so I think I got it now. I'm going to list the things, figure out, like take all the tasks that I have to get done within the day and arrange them in a way that is the best use, starting from, in the morning time to now, to the evening. What's the best use based on those tasks? And then follow that. And I think I'm pretty positive that I will get a better outcome than the previous ways I've tried when it came to time. Okay. And I've taken all kind of like time management, time blocking, where you use your calendar to schedule out tasks, and I try. I swear I've been trying so hard, but it's the whole time thing because it's so restrictive, right? And having a lot of Sagittarius energy, I don't like restriction. I don't like, it feels like confinement. Like I need to be able to have room and flexibility to breathe. However, I am a Virgo Sun and Venus, so I still have to have some type of order and structure, or else I'm like all over the place. It's a challenge. Like it's a real challenge, but I'm learning, right? And so, and once you to your chart and you really start seeing your energies and how it plays out in your life, you will learn how to figure out your energies so that you can use it in the best way possible. Okay. But now that I know that, I know that taking this approach, an energetic approach, will work so much more better for me than the time-based approach, right? Now, if you have a lot of Capricorn energy in your chart, or you have a lot of Virgo energy in your chart, you're going to need, you're probably going to be more of a 3D based, time based when it comes to organizing. And it also just depends on what other placements. Like I have a lot of fire energy. Fire energy, time doesn't contain fire; it do its own thing. So um, it's just you have to know your energies, right? Once you know and really start learning your energies, that's when you can really figure out how to tap into you, the authentic you, right? And so that's what this Mercury transit is really what's left of it. Okay, we have until the 9th. So we have about, what is the 17th now? So we have about 21 days, 22 days maybe left. Yeah, 17. Yeah, about 22 days left in this Mercury in Capricorn transit. This was a really long transit because it did go retrograde back into Sagittarius. And so now it's back in Capricorn, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy it's back in Capricorn, because when it was in Sagittarius, it was just way too much. People who have a Mercury in Sagittarius, y'all some real ones, because it was just way too much for me. But I digress. Yes. So, but use this energy, right? Take this time to use this transit, what's left of it, to really start crafting and reinventing yourself. How do you want to show up in the world, and not show up like, if you're not building a business online, it's not talking about that. It's just showing up, period. How do you want to present yourself to the world, the new you post divorce? Okay. And so get you a journal or some type of a notebook, right? And just start writing, just start brainstorming, do a brain dump, right? And just any and everything that you want to see in your life. Just do a brain dump and get it all out. Okay. And then you can start really organizing and crafting and putting together, right, what it is that you want to see. Because once you get the plan, once you have your plan of action, right, of what do you want to do, then that's when you can start taking action. Okay. Just taking action without a plan, while it can be fun at first, it oftentimes can lead to frustration, a lot of frustration, and it can delay your success because you have to go back and figure out some type of organization in order to move forward. Okay. And so if you just start with the plan first, okay, get it all out, do a brain dump, get it all out. It doesn't have to be super duper organized, but it just have to have some type of organization, some type of structure to it. Because again, that is another trait of Capricorn energy. It's all about structure. Okay. And especially with Pluto, and the sun moving into the sign of Aquarius in 3 days. You really do want to have some type of rough draft structure as to how you want to see your life moving forward. Okay. Pluto is going to be in the sign of Aquarius for the next 20 years. So while you don't have to have a plan for the next 20 years, I would recommend that you have some type of plan in place for at least the next 6 months to a year. Okay. Because you can always revisit and revise, and things are going to change anyway, because nothing is set in stone. At least that's my belief. And so you can always make changes and always reevaluate what it is, the plan that you first initially drew up. But you want to just get something, get it out, get something, so you have something to look at, something to go on, and you can always make changes and improve from there. Okay. If you have a lot of Virgo energy, I'm going to caution you, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Virgo sun, Virgo Venus here. It does not have to be perfect. Just get it out, get it on a piece of paper. So you can look at it and you can always, revise as you go. Okay. So that is what I have for you tonight for Astrology After Dark. And so if you found this live useful or helpful, more insightful, please do share it out so that other divorced women can get value from it as well. Now, if you would like to work with me, if you would like to get a recorded energetic healing reading, you can go to my link tree right here on the screen and get that. With that, it does come with a PDF of your life path. Okay, because I do believe that your life path energy has a lot to do with the rebuilding of your life, you getting in alignment with your soul. Okay. And also you get a 30-minute Q&A session with me, coaching call after the reading. You can book that once you receive your reading. And then we can go over and I'll answer any questions that you have. Okay. And if you have not gotten your free copy of the Natal Healing ebook, you definitely want to go to my link tree and get that. Okay. And so remember, possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, and then you can definitely hold it in your hand, and that should make you smile, because you are the one who creates your own reality. Have a good one.